Guys, how's everybody doing with John Wick Chapter 4 finally out today? May I also note that Resident Evil 4, the remake came out today, which I could be playing right now, is coming out today. Sorry this one's a bit late though. Here are my thoughts on John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum, which is the one I hear is that a lot of people's least favorite, but after upon this rewatch, this is still my favorite so far. With my positives on John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum is the action. I feel that the action in this action, not action, action in this movie is at its best for now because what I've heard from John Wick Chapter 4, I've heard nothing but great things about the action in that one. I feel the action in this one out of the three that have come out that I've watched for like now, this is the best out of all of them, like for sure. I feel that this movie is non-stop action. Every single scene, every action scene, I feel it tops the next one. Each one is very good in my opinion. I think the one action scene that I really like, it's not really an action scene. It's more silent than anything. Is where John Wick kills that basketball player with a freaking book. After watching this movie, I don't think I've seen someone get messed up with a book that hard before. Proof why we need to get rid of book. The president keeps shutting me down on it because people get more knowledge from it. I like how realistic this movie is too, where like gun wise, it's very realistic. Like there's this one scene where John and this one guy were underwater, and he shot a certain amount of distance. And what I liked about it, it's a very small hint, but I don't think a lot of people get it. Where John moved away from a certain amount away, maybe like 2 or 3 feet, where he moved away and he moved a far amount of distance where the gun, like the bullets, would not be able to hit him. It's a very small thing, but I did like that. And all the guns that are used in this movie, like they're very realistic. Like every time, like when they're shooting, like you can tell that the producers and director actually cared about how much bullets they use, because like every time they shot, they would reload a lot because they were using a bunch of bullets, and they seemed that they caught on how many bullets were in the bullets, like in the gun, not the bullets in the bullets. What am I saying? How many bullets were in the guns? Because when you watch other movies, they fire so many, and you're like, that gun should be out of ammo. This is probably the most violent John Wick movie where they have like freaking samurai swords and how they mess people up with them. Uh, oh god, what's his name? I forget his name. It's the black guy from the Matrix, where he gets cut like 7 times with a sword, and this one girl gets stabbed through both of her hands with the sword. And it's also just really bloody, where these guys are wearing helmets and protective gear on them in this one action scene, but John has to shoot him in like the neck and all that. Even like the shotgun, like they shoot him in the head and like have his head like just exploded. When I was watching this, it's been a while since I watched this movie, keep in mind. When that happened, I went, "Oh shit!" Like my dad was in the other room and he heard that. I heard him balls out laughing after he heard me say that. I love how violent this movie is. I'm a person that loves violence. Like I'm a horror fan. I don't know if you can tell I'm a big horror fan. A lot of violence in those, but I like seeing violence in this movie. It's pretty good. Good, not good. I can't speak today. Like seeing more of the explanation on the Continental. They did a lot with it in the second one, not the third one. Jesus, the second one where they kind of showed all the rules about how you can't kill people in the Continental and the reason why what will happen. They showed that in the first movie, but in the second one you can see that more. But in this one you get to see more where what happens if you help this person that is under this law where they're being hunted down. They get to see what happens if you help them or try to help them. Like people will get uh, killed, even injured, stabbed, like I said with the lady getting stabbed through the hands. I really like that. And you also get to see where they kind of make these bids too. You saw that in the second one once again, but I did like how they carried that on here. And once you kill someone in the Continental, they usually would just shoot you like right away, but in this one they show like what would happen if they just put a bounty on you and like every hour like the bounty would raise and everyone's trying to kill John because of like a $14 million bounty, but every single hour they raise the amount by $1 million, which I really enjoyed watching and learning more about. And I'm not very excited for the Continental TV series because I'm not a big fan of prequels. But I feel what we learned from these movies, I don't know what else new they're going to show us in the TV show, which is supposed to come out this year. which I doubt, like, drastically. Now on to my mixed aspects. This also suffered in John Wick Chapter 2 is the story. This movie does have much story elements to it. The only story that we really get is people trying to hunt down John Wick, and John Wick is slowly trying to find himself freedom from this. That's only the story we get. Other than that, it's just like big explosions and action. Now on to my negatives. By 100%, this is a nitpick, but it's just something that always bothers me every time I watch this movie. John Wick should have never survived that fall that he had at the end, where the one guy shoots him off the roof. He falls down. He rolls down like this ceiling panel, hits off like stairs that you see in New York, hits a garbage can, and then falls to the ground. And he's alive. No human being in the world would survive that fall. They would have been dead once they hit those stairs because the way he landed, his back or neck would have been broken. By all means, that should never have worked. But hey, it's John Wick, the man who's the boogeyman. Boogeyman. All in all, guys, to me, this is my personal favorite John Wick movie. I have issues that we don't get much of the story, but I do like this movie. It's a fun time. If you're only there for the action, this movie delivers, but I do wish there was more story elements to it. But other than that, this is a movie I do think that you should add to your collection and go out and buy it. What do you guys think of John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum? Is this your favorite like me? Is this your least favorite which I've seen? Or is it right in the middle? Let me know what you guys think of John Wick Chapter 3 in the comments below and we will talk about it. If you like this video, like it. If you loved it, subscribe and hit the bell notification so you will get notified for my latest videos. But until my next video, take care.